The search has begun. Primary schools around the country have started competing in the qualifiers of the 2011 Danone Nations Cup to find the team that will represent South Africa in the competition's World Cup finals taking place in Spain from the 5th to the 10th of October with 40 participating countries. The South African national finals will take place at Eldorado Park Stadium on the 11th of June. So for exciting school soccer, catch the 2011 Danone Nations Cup at the Eldorado Stadium from the 11th of June 2011.
As we just saw there, the Danone Nations Cup is the world's greatest soccer tournament for young players aged 10 to 12. And it became a grand final at Orlando Stadium in Soweto last year when South Africa were crowned the 2009 and Mexico the 2010 champions of this world tournament. Happens to the kids after participating in this tournament. We're joined in studio by Danone ambassador and former Bafana captain Neil Tovey. Neil, it's a pleasure having you in studio.
Good to be here.
Obviously fantastic for you. You've coached and played at the highest level. Fantastic for Danone to have you as an ambassador for the Danone Nations Cup. What happens to these kids after they've competed in this grand World Cup final though?
Yeah, it's a big quest to see if we can sort of find the trail that they're making for their lives, and how many of them are going to be playing in the professional ranks, obviously with the likes of Kermit Erasmus, and then they've come through. But it's not only for football avenues and channels that we're searching where these youngsters are going in their future lives. Some might become lawyers, some might become advocates, accountants. So it's a big quest from Danone at this moment in time to sort of find this path that they are creating for themselves, because obviously it's a huge stepping stone. When they at this age playing in that tournament, and this year is going to be in Spain, the honor of playing in, which is a huge experience for these youngsters. It's a dream for them. I mean, at this stage, it's a mecca of world football. And obviously, most of them want to become professional footballers one day. It's their dream, but obviously not all of them can.
Now, obviously, I mean, apart from developing athletic ability, I mean, there's a social aspect as well. I mean, it's an opportunity for the kids to learn about healthy eating habits, discipline. I mean, you can learn so much about life just through sport. Touching on the football, do we have enough talent in our youth in South Africa to be competitive in this tournament?
We've showed it in this tournament. We've always done well in this tournament, winning in 2003, in 2007, and 2009, as you saw. But it's not only the winning. Danone is not about who's going to win. It's about just the experience and living their dreams. And it's
for the parents and for the kids.
For the parents and the kids. And it's a wonderful. I mean, these kids haven't even left their township, a lot of them, and now they're getting experience and opportunity in the provincial and regional tournaments to leave and then come national finals. They themselves are leaving their township and coming to Gauteng to play in the national finals, and then a fortunate team and a very talented team will then travel to Spain, as I mentioned, and this big aircraft that they're on, and this new experience for them, and they
get to play in the national.
They get to play in the national colours, and it's just a dream come true for them, and it's experience. But what I've seen when I was there in past years is that they are a lovely bunch. South Africa have this culture of being leading in being a vibrant, and they're forever singing and bringing the South African culture into the tournament, and there's always the other countries that are always looking to them, what they're doing, and what they're kind of singing and joy, and they're so joyful and good to be around.
And not just that, I mean, a fantastic opportunity for the kids to meet their heroes, players like yourself, Zinedine Zidane, that sort of thing, all the other Danone ambassadors. I mean, it's an amazing opportunity that actually offers these kids. You're right, it goes way beyond just sport. We've got a fantastic track record. You touched on the fact that we won in 2003, 2007 and 2009. And yet, one of the failings in South African football, if you had to put it under the microscope, is that our youth teams just don't really seem to deliver on the talent that we know we have. Why is that, do you think?
Yeah, I think we have to have this big drive to have these development structures nurtured and continued. There's no doubt, we've always mentioned that the talent is there to be seen. We've just got to pursue, and that's why it's a big quest from Danone, to see where these guys are continuing the path and have a database, and then continually working with these players and developing them and putting structures in place that we can continue with their career path in the game of football. And we've always mentioned it that we have to have this drive now for the quest for development in the youth.
Fantastic to see companies like Danone getting behind football development both in South Africa and other countries worldwide. For you as an ambassador of Danone, what has been your most achievement so far?
Just to see the joy in these kids' eyes. You know, as I mentioned, they're living their dream, and besides eating, and Danone obviously supply a lot of the nutritional value in what they're eating and drinking, you know, the yogi sips and all that. It's imperative that they live this nutritional life, because if you want to become a professional one day and continue on that path, you've got to have a good eating habits and the like. So, but just the joy in the kids' eyes. I mean, they are continually happy, great to be around, and living their dream, as I can say.
A great example to a lot of adults out there that get caught in the daily grind of work and work pressures and that sort of thing. There's few people out there that can't remember the heights that Bafana reached in 1996 when you guys won the Africa Cup of Nations. Your take on the success that South Africa had in hosting the FIFA World Cup, Bafana, Pitsor, the in South Africa at the moment?
Yeah, we set a wonderful platform for us, not only in the football world, but also in tourism, you know, and what it's done for our country. But I think we're going in the right direction. Pitso's got them playing like we want them to play, and they look like they're more free and playing with a lot more confidence, and it's shown in their results. They're progressing up the ladder in terms of rankings, in the FIFA rankings, and you know, they're playing a brand of football that they seem to be more relaxed on, which we used to, and that's the only way we're going to get in, by them playing and enjoying their game again. I'm not to say they didn't enjoy the game before, but they just seem more relaxed and look like they're on the correct way.
And certainly considering the talent that we have in our youth football, again, 2003, 2007, 2009 winners, I don't think we can stress that enough. There certainly is the talent in the country for the First Division, Vodacom Cup and PSL coaches to make use of. How much of a scouting exercise do you think World Football use a tournament like this? I mean, players can get signed from as young as 13, 14, I believe.
Yeah, they do, and the clubs are doing that now. They're having to go out there, and obviously being in Spain, you're going to see a lot of scouts at the tournament. There always is, and who knows? You know, there was the other day where this youngster of 19 months.
Dutch
youngster was signed up. So he didn't sign up at 19 months and a 10-year contract. You know,
no pressure on him as he gets older.
Yeah, he could be playing in the Danone tournament and in the years to come.
Yeah. Considering the legacy, hopefully, that the 2010 FIFA World Cup has left in South Africa, is there sufficient infrastructure? I mean, obviously, there's challenges that these kids in the townships are going to face. Never mind the fact that they've never maybe left their town or city. Do we have sufficient infrastructure to nurture them and get them into successful careers, whether it's football or another professional career?
Yeah, SASFA has certainly made a huge inroads there. They are working in conjunction with the certainly in that age group. You know, it's a big quest for school soccer to get back on track. And we've got to put programs in place where we can coach the coaches and create a platform where the youngsters are getting the correct coaching at a young age, and get become learning good habits from a young age, because that is imperative for future years, where we don't have to come as PSL coaches and as national coaches then having to coach the basics. You want all that put into place.
Culture of football to be coming through from this age.
Coming through from a young age, and that's what we've got to look for.
Neil, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on Sunrise this morning.
It's a pleasure to be here.
And we look forward to the South African team doing well at this year's Danone Nations Cup.
I'm sure they will do.
That was former Bafana captain and current Danone ambassador Neil Tovey chatting to us about the Danone Nations Cup for this year. Do stay with us. We'll be back with you after the short ad break.